is going to be out for a unlisted amount of time. Everything that I've read said his ACL is torn. He went and got a second opinion today, actually, and I have yet to hear the exact diagnosis, whether it's torn or not. Regardless, he is going to be out for a while. It was a very, very ugly injury, and the fact that you're getting a second opinion means that you don't like the first opinion, meaning it is torn, and you're going to need surgery. So we have to think about the future. We have to think about positive things here in Kansas City. We have to think positive about the Chiefs' kingdom. Now, obviously, we talked about this, I believe it was Friday's show, right? Or no, it was Monday's show, when I said that the Kansas City Chiefs do not need to replace Rashee Rice. They did it fine last year when they didn't have a number one receiver. They had a bunch of mismatched crew. Obviously, Rashee Rice kind of came out of nowhere toward the end of the season, become the number one guy, and was quickly becoming the number one, a top 5 receiver in the NFL. I said, slow it down. We don't need to panic. We don't need to replace him. But every Chiefs forum that I'm on, every Chiefs Discord that I'm on, every Chiefs fan that I'm talking to and listening to podcasts and shows, etc., says that the Chiefs are in the market of getting a receiver. They're getting a receiver and they're in the market. So I've heard 12 names thrown out there. I've heard DeVante Adams, D-Hop. I've heard Amari Cooper, like Elijah Moore, Keenan Allen, Deontay Johnson, Christian Kirk, Robert Woods, KJ Osborne, right? The list goes. Darius Slayton, Jalen Hyatt, DeMarcus Robertson, right? The list goes on and on and on. So I broke it down to 4 potential guys that I would like to see to come to Kansas City. Obviously, guys, salary cap is a big deal. The Kansas City Chiefs only have $4 million of salary cap space to bring in said player, but we all know that salary cap is a myth. Everything can be adjusted. Everything can be fixed. And if you really want a guy, somebody's going to take a little bit of signing bonus less or transfer this money into that money. It all works out in the end. It's fake money. Let's just be honest. Salary cap is fake money. So when I look at the Kansas City Chiefs and potentially replacing Rashee Rice, the fact is that DeVante Adams is going to be at the top of the list, right? DeVante Adams is going to be at the top of the list of many, many teams. And why not the top of the list of the Kansas City Chiefs? Right now, all they're looking for is a second-round pick and some compensation. That's all they're looking for. So basically a second-round pick and a player or 2. And if they're looking for receivers, right? If they're looking for somebody to, not necessarily fill the role of DeVante Adams, but add depth, the Kansas City Chiefs do have receivers out there such as Hollywood Brown. Not going to play this season, maybe a playoff, but they could trade him, right? Hey, you can get this guy for next year, but they also still got Sky Moore, Mr. Drop City himself. They still got Justin Ross, and they still got other guys on the practice squad that played last season that could be good replacement pieces for that. So when we're looking at replacing DeVante Adams, my number 1 pick would be DeVante Adams. Yes, I know he has a $14 million cap hit. That's $10 million over the Kansas City Chiefs salary cap. I get it, but that all can be adjusted. That all can be tweaked. And if the Raiders are not willing to play ball, let's just be honest, a first-round pick for the Kansas City Chiefs is probably a second-round pick for most teams because they're going to be drafting 32nd like anyways. Third three-peat in the making. So DeVante Adams would be my number 1 choice. Next up is Amari Cooper. You guys have been saying, I believe James Frank and Other John has been saying Amari Cooper in the red and gold just makes sense. And the more I think about it, Amari Cooper does make sense. What makes DeVante Adams and Amari Cooper so great is their route running ability. They are some of the best route running receivers out there in the NFL. You mix that great route running with a precision quarterback like Patrick Mahomes, to the moon, baby. To the moon. Now, on the downside of this, Amari Cooper is on the final year of his deal. He does want to get those dollar bills, y'all. He still thinks he is a top 10, top 5 receiver in the NFL, which I think he is, but he wants to get paid like it. And I'm not for sure the Kansas City Chiefs will be able to do that beyond this year. Next up is Keenan Allen. Yes, that Keenan Allen from the LA Chargers that's now playing for the Chicago Bears. The Keenan Allen that everybody in Chicago thought was the greatest thing since sliced bread. Well, since then, Keenan Allen has been dealing with injuries yet again in Chicago. He's also like fourth fiddle on that receiving core. DJ Moore and Rome Odunze is really separating himself from Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen is kind of like the black sheep. Now, the one thing I do not like about Keenan Allen and the Kansas City Chiefs is he's always injured. In LA and San Diego, he had the opportunity to be one of the best receivers in the NFL. He could be the biggest what if in the NFL story, just like Derrick Rose is for the NFL or for the NBA. Biggest what if. But Keenan Allen to the Kansas City Chiefs, maybe those injuries start to go away. Winning cures all. Winning makes that broken leg heal just a little bit faster. Let's just be honest. Next up, this is going to be a very, very big stretch. This is going to be a stretch for me because of the simple fact that this player did not make a lot of noise when he was with Kansas City his previous term. When we signed him from the Green Bay Packers, I was like, oh, hell yeah. We got a number one guy. 11 catches later, $11 million later, see you later out like alligator. But MVS, Marquez Valdes-Scantling is now playing with the Buffalo Bills. Much like Keenan Allen, he's kind of finding himself on the outside looking in that receiving core. And we all know how the Buffalo Bills like to help the Kansas City Chiefs get better. So why not send MVS over to the Kansas City Chiefs as well? So guys, I'm curious. Of those players, who do you guys think that could potentially come to Kansas City? I like MVS. I like Amari Cooper. I like Keenan Allen. And, of course, DeVante Adams. Do I anticipate any of those players coming to Kansas City? The answer to that question is no. Do I anticipate the Kansas City Chiefs making any type of wide receiver move in the next 3 weeks? Actually, the next 4 weeks. The trade deadline is November 5th. No, I do not. I think the Kansas City Chiefs are set. I think the Kansas City Chiefs are set of what they got and how they can potentially move on. Because if it is a season-ending injury for Rashee Rice, it is what it is. It is what it is. So, guys, let me know. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Edwin Rice is in the chat. He says, ain't no way the Raiders trade with the Chiefs. I'd be shocked if they even talked. So, Edwin, first-time viewer here. It seems like this is the first time I've seen you saying your name here in forever, I think. But thank you for joining us. But money talks, right? Money talks at the end of the day. Yes, you are in a division with the Kansas City Chiefs, with the Raiders. Yes. But if the Kansas City Chiefs are willing to give you a first-round pick for a receiver that doesn't want to be there, yeah, the rich get richer, but that first-round pick could turn into Shedeur Sanders. That first-round pick could turn into the quarterback from Alabama. That first-round pick could turn into quarterback from Georgia. Could. But you are probably right. You are probably right. Jim Powell says, I don't care if he goes interconference. He's a cancer, and he needs to get out of Vegas now. Jim, what makes him a cancer? To be honest, what makes him a cancer? I mean, this is the first time ever that I've seen him in the media stop and actually talk about this trade. He was on with Kay Adams, I believe, when I was watching on the Bet Stamp report that basically they were talking about AP liking a tweet. And he's like, AP hasn't even talked to me about it. So I don't think, at least the outside viewer, he's not a cancer. Now, on the inside viewer, on the inside, he could be MF and everybody. He could be taking your dog and slitting the dog's throat. I don't know. But to say he's a cancer, I don't know. And James says, if he is a cancer, or does he just want to win? Even better. Winners win, right? People thought that T.O. was a cancer. He just wanted to ball. He just wanted his money. He just wanted to win. Do you need help? No. He just wanted to win. So obviously winning cures a lot, right? With the Eagles, we've been talking about the Eagles like about how bad they are right now, about how they potentially could be firing Nick Sirianni. But when they beat the Saints, all was well in Philly. We weren't talking about this when the Raiders beat the Ravens week 2. It was when they lost week 3. Yeah, they won week 4, but you know what? I just want to win, baby. Dad says everybody wants to be a winner. 3-peat loading. What up, though? Jim Bow says it's not him that makes him the cancer. It's the way we lose. Then, oh my God, DeVante can't be happy. Blah, blah, blah. You can go get a popsicle. So Jim is basically saying winning cures all. Winning cures all. And he says, why are the Chiefs not looking at Hunter Renfrow? If we wanted another subpar average receiver, we would have kept Tyreek Hill. Too soon? Too soon? My bad. Laura says the question is, who needs Adams? A lot of teams need Adams. We'll be talking about DeVante coming up very, very shortly here. James Frank says, Keenan Allen is always hurt. At the point, you just keep the receiver you all got. Exactly. Yeah. As much as I would love the potential of Keenan Allen, he could potentially be 100%. He could potentially catch 90 balls. He could potentially average 80, 90 yards per game. The potential has always been there, but the results have not been. Injuries have plagued Keenan Allen's life. Let's just be honest. James says, y'all want to bring back Brick Hands Tooney back? Hey, without Tooney 2 years ago, the Kansas City Chiefs wouldn't have won that Super Bowl. So I wouldn't be mad about it, but I wouldn't be like, oh, yay, that puts us over the edge. Like, no, I mean, like, it is what it is. Kevin Cummings is in the chat. He says, no way Adam goes to Kansas City. That would be the dumbest move the Raiders could make. And Kevin, I believe you're a Buffalo Bills fan, if I'm not mistaken. We can speak freely here on the Man Hour because this is live, raw, uncut NFL talk. Let's just be honest. The Raiders are the dumbest franchise in the NFL. The Raiders might be dumber than the Carolina Panthers. The Raiders might be dumber than the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Raiders might be dumber than the Jets. The Raiders have historically been a dumb franchise. Sorry, John. Sorry, Jim. But the facts are the facts. The facts is they pay all this money to win now, and they're terrible for the next 10, 15 years. And then they pay all this money to win now, and then they're terrible for the next 20 years. The Raiders are in that terrible mode right now. Let's just be honest. They're terrible. I told you all this back in June. You all laughed me at it like out of the room. I said 5 wins, 4 or 5 wins for the Raiders. Granted, they do have 2 wins right now, but your star receiver wants out. Why? Why does your star receiver want out? Is it because of Antonio Pierce? No, it's because the organization is flat out stupid. It would not surprise me if they made this move, to be honest. It would not surprise me. Derek's in the chat says, you didn't add Tyreek Hill. We did not add Tyreek Hill, but the rumors are that Tyreek Hill wants to come back to Kansas City. He said it's terrible here in Miami. I'm tired of only getting 50 yards. Kevin says that first round could also turn into a huge bust. Meaning if the Chiefs gave the Raiders a first-round pick for DeVante Adams, that could turn into a big bust. You're absolutely right. The draft is a flat-out gamble. There are no 100% shoo-ins at all. Everybody, Wayne G and forget the person who he had on his show, saying, if you build a quarterback in a lab, Trevor Lawrence would be it. He's a perfect fit in the NFL, and he's going to be the greatest ever. What has Trevor Lawrence done for you? I would almost say he's been a bust, to be honest. Trevor Lawrence has probably almost been a bust in the NFL. Yes, he does have a playoff win. I get it. But he sucks. Caleb Williams. Not saying he's a bust yet. Not saying he is bad yet. But people expected him to be the greatest thing since sliced bread week 1. It takes time. It takes coaching. Kevin says, from my understanding, Adams is what everybody wants of the receivers to act like. Listen, all receivers are going to have a little bit of ego. If the receivers do not have an ego, something is wrong. That is what makes a receiver such a powerful tool, right? Is that you have the ability to say, give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball, and I'm going to win. A receiver can single-handedly change a game. You get him the ball in like open space, boom, 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 bada bing, bada boom, to the moon. I want my receivers to be assholes. I want my receivers to be egos. Hell, I want my defensive players to have a felony. If you don't have a felony, you can't play on my defense. That Hill comment hurts, says James. Listen. You all put Tyreek Hill up on this pedestal. Last year, yes, he did have, 1,900 yards or whatever it was. He had a great season last year. But without speed, what is Tyreek Hill? He is a below-average out route runner. He has average hands at best. Without speed, he is a below-average quarterback. And it looks to me like he's losing a step. We always talked about how fast Tyreek Hill is. There's like 10 other players faster than Tyreek Hill right now in the NFL. Hell, Derrick Henry might be faster than Tyreek Hill, and he's 280 pounds. Mid-level receiver stopping. Right now, he is. Look at the stats. Right now, Tyreek Hill actually is below average. Less than 50 yards per game. Dad says, I'm telling the truth about the Raiders. Raiders suck. Kevin Cummings says, James says, I was about to say that about the Browns. Or thanks for not adding my like my Browns. But so I was talking about dumber franchises, and they're saying the Browns. Laura thinks there's a coaching problem in Vegas. Well, we're going to talk about DeVante Adams coming up here pretty soon. Plain Shark says, at least the Raiders is not that bad. The Dolphins and Jaguars are worser. But the Raiders are pretty bad. Let's just be honest. They beat a struggling Ravens team in Baltimore, yes. Now, with 2 straight wins over, back-to-back for the Ravens, yes, is looking better. But the Raiders are not that good. Jaguars are terrible with their 0-4. Fire everybody on that franchise. And the Dolphins are just injured. John is going back to work. Be safe, John. Kevin says, Adams wants out because he went to Vegas just because Carr was there, and then they got rid of him. Adams likes the Jets and Titans. No, Adams likes the Jets and Saints. Maybe it was supposed to be Saints. You put Taints. Okay, I got you. I see what you did there. I see what you did there. James says, in Cleveland, absolutely it is. I like the Raiders coach, though. I'm not for sure what you guys are talking about. Danny Don Hawker's in the chat. It says, no, he hasn't. Just bad receivers. Not for sure what you're talking about. Dad says, Trevor reminds me of the Waffle House. Is still in business. Everybody forgets about the Waffle House, but damn it, they're still there. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Actually, Dad, here in Sellersburg, they cut back to like 20 hours a day. So they close at midnight and then open back up at 4 a.m. Waffle House isn't even open up 24 hours a day anymore. Jim says, since 2021, we didn't laugh at y'all in the room over your Raiders comments. And Adams is a 35-year-old receiver. If I was Casey, I'd offer a 3rd rounder and a towel boy. Raiders don't need to press and the circus on the commission and until we are on track. An attitude and receiver, somebody let Jerry Rice know. I don't know. It is what it is. Arthur Brown says, hold up, slow it down, baby. I've been talking bad about your Dolphins, Arthur Brown. I've been talking about your Dolphins, and you want to come sliding in here? Yeah, Tyreek Hill's below average quarterback or a receiver right now. Hill hasn't been balling out because he has no quarterback, LMAO. Or hear me out, Snoop puts it on him right here. Stone hands, baby. James says, yeah, my Dolphins are in a bad way right now. They are.